How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'd like to present to you my review of the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated series Slash and Leatherhead. These two guys come packaged fantastically in a great big box with a window in the front so we can see all of the goodies that we get on the inside, the figures and the accessories and whatnot. And while the packaging for these is not exactly 100% unique in that it's got the yellow and the green color scheme with the turtle shell, they do have images of each character on either side of the box as well as on the bottom of the front. When we flip the box around, we can see that you've got another image of each of the figures together. Other figures you can get in the series, collect them all. Anywho, let's get these guys out. Oh boy. You guys don't really want to see me take all this stuff out of the bubble, do you? Hang on a second. Okay, and everything's all out of the package, and that probably took me about 45 minutes. Nah, I'm just kidding. It didn't take that long, but you look at all the stuff that you get in the box with them. He even comes with a net and a rope. I wasn't expecting any of that stuff. Okay, first let's divide this review up by character, starting with Slash, who first appeared on September 29th, 1990 in Season 4, Episode 18, entitled Slash, the Evil Turtle from Dimension X. Basically, Bebop, who didn't want to clean his room, used some of Shredder's test super mutagen that he was developing to make an entire army of super mutants to take over Earth on his pet turtle in hopes of it becoming basically a housemaid. Yeah, I want these to help me tidy my room. And of course, because this is Bebop and Rocksteady, things really didn't go according to plan, and instead of being mutated into some kind of subservient house butler, Slash was mutated into the super mutant turtle who wants nothing more than to get a hold of his little palm tree, Binky. Binky? Where's Binky? But as you've been looking at it with this slow-toed head, you might have noticed that this guy is pretty much absolutely cartoon accurate. And basically this figure uses pretty much the same buck as the regular turtles, except for things like the feet here, because we know that the turtles don't have great big long bacteria-infested toenails. Well, they might be bacteria-infested, but they're not this long. And obviously, the hands are their own separate sculpts as well, with those big purple spikes. And we've already seen that the turtle shell is unique to this character as well, as of course, so is the head sculpt, which actually looks very, very, very much like the original animated series Slash's face looked. Like, that's a perfect match. Like, perfect. And of course they've included the details like his belt being accurate to the cartoon, his shoulder armor, and his backpack. His, I can't even remember what the heck this thing's supposed to be. Of course, Slash comes with the two Shaolin swords that he nicked off of the Shredder. Ooh, swordly. This here double-barreled laser cannon, this thing really looks like it means business. Actually, I seen the cartoon. It does mean business. And this gun here, I can't really remember what it does, but, well, it comes with him. He also comes with a little bitty turtle. This is actually him before he gets the super mutagen dumped on him. A savagely bitten piece of pizza. Who does that? It's a whole bite out of it. And here's what the back looks like. You can really see how he just chomped into this thing. And of course, Binky, his palm tree. I will say this, the way that my Slash has gone together is just a little bit lopsided. And you might say, well, it's just a matter of turning him at the waist or whatever. But no, it's actually not. It's the way that the legs fit into the body there. It's just like, it's just weird. And if you're wondering about his articulation, it's as follows. His head's on a ball peg. It's actually pretty well articulated for something that's so big and clunky. The shoulders are on rounded hinges, but I warn you, they are very, very, very tight to start with. You'll really want to be careful with them. And even though the shoulder pauldrons, though they may look like metal, they're actually just a soft rubber, and they get out of the way for the most part when you're trying to pose them around, but the whole shoulder situation with these guys is not ideal. He's also got the swivelly biceps and the single jointed elbows. Mine were really tight when I took them out of the package, so be warned, they rotate around, and he's got the hinges right here in the wrists. Down, up, down, up. There is some torso articulation, at least the roundabout kind. I wouldn't expect this to go up and down, but certainly around in a circle. I will tell you this as well, while I've been using his articulation, this piece right here that connects to his backpack is really, really flimsy. Like, I'm definitely gonna have to super glue the crap out of that when this video's done. Actually, probably before the video's done. Slash also has the articulation in his groin that the rest of the turtles have. It's not the greatest range of motion for a ninja, at least when it comes to frontwards and backwards, but the splats are okay, but there's also round motion like that. It doesn't have a thigh cut, but he kind of does have a thigh cut. How far can I make this bad boy go around? Well, I guess all the way. Yeah, all the way. He does have double jointed knees though. Let's see what we can get these bad boys to do. Oh, that's not bad crunching actually. And he also has ankles that are, I believe, on a ball peg. I don't think that they're ankle pivots. I think they're just ball peg ankles. Not bad. Now let's check out Leatherhead, the biggest gator that ever got born, who made his first appearance in November 3rd, 1989, episode 30, season 3. Basically, Krang sends some mutagen to the wrong place, and not only does it not end up where he wants it to go, but it ends up creating the punk frogs as a result, and also mutating Leatherhead, the biggest gator that was ever born, into what we see before us. A gigantic action figure by all standards. Seriously, this guy is one of the biggest of the series that I've seen so far. If not, I'm gonna say it, he is the biggest. Wait till Krang comes out though. Oh, Krang and that robot's gonna be huge. And for the most part, I gotta tell you, I'm satisfied with him. I do kind of wish that his color all over was this green, rather than the lighter green up top. I like the shadow color they used more. I like a more brighter green. If I was handier with a paintbrush, I'd probably just straight up repaint him. But he's got his sleeveless leather jacket, his blue pants that I've really always looked at these as if they're fishermen's, you know, waist-high rubber boots or something like that. And I gotta tell you, I'm not always a fan of when they decide to two-tone things. Like they're black on the back and they're blue on the front. I would rather they just picked a color and went with it. But I get what they're trying to do. His belt over here, I will tell you, in the same way that I had problems with Slash, and this needed to be re-glued on his backpack, I needed to re-glue this on Leatherhead's belt, because this came directly off, right in my hand. When I just moved the belt, it came right off. Leatherhead's tail was actually a separate piece that came in the package that I had to attach onto a ball peg, and we'll get into its articulation a little bit later in the video. And this Leatherhead's face, to me, what I see, aside from Leatherhead from the cartoon, is the alligator from Mr. Dressup. You know, the one that owned the trading post that Mr. Dressup would go to occasionally?
Flower pots to trade, flower pots to trade. If you need any flower pots, come try some of mine.
I totally see that as well when I look at this gator. Overall, I think he's a pretty cool looking figure, although, and I didn't say this was Slash, I do feel like the paint apps on this one are a little bit sloppy. All the black lines all over him really looked like someone was really in a rush when they made him. I mean, I get why. Whoever painted this thing probably got paid like 5 cents or something. And they have a quota of like, I don't know, 100 figures a day. I don't know what the quota would be. You can see here that it says made in China. So I usually try to be just a little bit more forgiving than I used to be in the past about how well the paint apps are. I will say this though. I do get a little bit annoyed when I see paint peeling off of hinges. And it's not just this series that you see that in. There's all kinds of series. But when it peels like that, it just peels right off. You could see it flaking right there. Flaky, flaky, flaky. That kind of bothers me when I see that. I really wish that they actually molded the hinge in the color plastic they were planning on painting his feet and legs. As for Slash's accessories, he comes with this big old net for catching the punk frogs like Genghis here. Sorry, Genghis. You're gonna work for Gator now. You just draw these strings like that, and then you got yourself a frog for dinner, I guarantee. He also comes with a shackle with an actual little bit of chain on it for, you guessed it, shackling people. There's also a bear trap. This poor frog is going through so much. He also comes with these 2 crawfish handcuffs, or I can't remember what he used them for. This here bangity boom double-barreled shotgun, or I can't remember what it shoots out the end. But here it is, and he comes with it. As well as 2 open, grippy, grab-your-face hands, a trigger finger hand, and a gravity-grab hand. Not a bad spread, really. I think he comes with a variety of more than enough accessories to keep almost any action figure collector satisfied. And at this point, you may be wondering about Leatherhead's articulative properties. Well, let's go through them together. First of all, Leatherhead's noodle is on a ball peg. He really doesn't get a super great range of motion, but his mouth does open. He's also got the rounded hinges up here in the armpits. And they go up they really, you know, I really don't want to push these because they're NECA. And these spin 360 at the bicep, and you've got the crunchy double jointed elbows. I don't want to crunch those up anymore. Looks like I've actually got them pushed to the limit, to tell you the truth. You can see up in his torso here, there is articulation, so of course he's going to be able to go around and around in a circle, and there is some bibbly bobbly ball jointy articulation in there. Oh, I forgot, he's also got the rounded hinge peg wrists. Oh man, I haven't used these yet. They're tight. You can see the paint there on the hinge though. That is definitely going to flake off. That's really all you're gonna get out of it. If we get him to do a full Gator Bayou spready, we can see that he has the rounded hinges here in the groin. I like this setup definitely better than Slash's. He can't quite sit down with this articulation, and he can, you know, splat okay. He's also got the double jointed knees pushed all the way. That's what they do. And unlike Slash, you can actually see that he's got ankle pivots rather than ball joints, and these actually work really, really well. I like these. And before, as mentioned, he's got the articulation in the tail by way of a ball peg. It's not super articulated. It came off. Let's try that again. He can wag it side to side a little bit like a dog, or maybe possibly a very excited happy gator. And that's really it. And just before we finish off the video, I figure I'll do a comparison for one with Slash, the only other Slash figure we have in the house. This one's from the Nickelodeon series. I can't get over how small this one's head is. It's really small. And Leatherhead with the original Leatherhead figure from when I was a kid, and then Leatherhead from the later Nickelodeon series, the same one where this, you know, the weird Slash comes from. This guy is huge. So what do I think about these guys? Well, you know, if you watched the original cartoon as a kid, then you'll be familiar with these designs. And of course you're going to want to buy figures of them. And if you're a Turtles fan and a completionist, then of course you're going to want to buy these guys. And let's be honest here, they're the only figure form representations of these characters that are accurate to the original cartoon source material that we've ever received. Aside from the issues of the paint being applied possibly a little bit sloppy to these figures, but it's forgivable because they're animated style, and the fact that you've got some paint rub in the joints, namely in Leatherhead, and the fact that the joints start out really, really stiff, and you actually stand a fairly reasonable chance of them breaking while you're trying to articulate them, because I've experienced that before with NECA Toys figures. I still think that if you can find them at ground floor price, as in how much they costed before the Dighty scalpers got a hold of them, oh sorry, the resellers, then I definitely think that they're worth the price. It isn't cheap to make action figures, and these are targeted specifically at a group of people whom they are assuming has a little bit more money to spend on their collectibles than, say, kids do in the toy aisle. And I would probably have to give this 2-pack overall about an 8 out of 10, maybe 8.5. But hey, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Hopefully you found this video to be a useful, interesting waste of time for the day. If you did, you know what you could do to help me out. You could leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, because that's definitely going to help this channel grow. And I will see you with the next one. Have a fantastic day, everybody, and take care. Happy hunting!